Good afternoon and welcome to the Pyramid Show brought to you by kind courtesy of Zypes. A brick is a local and clean natural material that doesn't impact on the environment during construction of a house. Bricks are fired at temperatures so high that it can take a longer period for it to get broken down. Today, in Focus, we pay attention to the use of bricks in building most of Ghanaian homes, which has not been the case. But today, like I said, we are going to throw more light on the use of bricks for the construction of our homes. In the meantime, I would entreat you to send your answers on this question to that 0500 180 697. And my question is simple. If you've ever built before and used blocks, would you still want to use blocks or look at another material? We take a break. The show returns shortly. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Emmanuel Owusu Anson. Now, water causes a lot of problems on buildings, leading to its deterioration if not checked through defects such as rising damp, leakages in walls and concrete roof, cracks, construction joints, and rain traces on buildings. Let me introduce to you Zypes concrete products used permanently for waterproofing, protect, and repair of buildings, tunnels, reservoirs, bridges, and even dams. Zypes can be used to waterproof buildings in extreme conditions of waterlogged or high water table areas. Again, the unique Zypes waterproofing technology, when applied on foundations, basements, septic tanks, swimming pools, balconies, and underground or surface water storage tanks, give a solid guarantee against water. Call us now on 0302 68 1581, 0302 68 1581, or 0208 110328, 0208 110328. With Zypes, water rather becomes their prey. In the studio today with me on our subject, building with bricks, I have with me Mr. Tor Brenoff, the project manager for Green Sand Villas, and Mr. Sam Ekuban. He is the executive secretary for, that is, Bricks and Tile Manufacturers of Ghana. Gentlemen, welcome into our studio.
Thank you.
Let me begin with you, Tor. Bricks. I mean, you told me your story all the way from, that is, Europe, and how people or the inhabitants over there use bricks for the construction of their houses. What do you think has been the reason why here in Ghana, most people are not embracing tiles? Bricks, even though we have clay in abundance?
I cannot really tell you the reasons why you don't use it, but I can see there are old buildings in Kumasi and Accra, a few buildings that are made with bricks. Some of them are 60, 70, 80 years old. But there are not that many, and why it has not been used, maybe in the start the quality has been too bad. Maybe under fire bricks, maybe bad skills to do neat work. I don't really know why, but also I can see some of the old colony forts are also made in bricks. So there has been a brick production here somehow.
There's been a brick production somehow.
Yeah.
Sam, I mean, Tor not really getting the answer on why Ghanaians are not using bricks the more as compared to the use of blocks. You want to tell us why?
Yes, I'll try
Yes.
as much as I could. Bricks were in use during the colonial era in Ghana a lot. If you go to our villages, especially along the coastal stretch, you see all the buildings that our grandfathers built were bricks, okay? But I think along the line, cement was introduced into the system. And I think they were looking for market. And the marketing niche that I think they used was using or living in a cement house is the new lifestyle. And so people were given cement, even for free, I understand, during the colonial time, to plaster all the brick houses, okay? Then along the line, I mean, you plaster it, you get paint, maybe whitewash it, and it looks, great. And so that caught up with Ghanaians, even before independence, okay? And so it continued, and definitely cement had been introduced, and they were also expanding their market share in the system. And so everybody was thinking that, okay, let's go cement instead of the old thing that we've seen.
Okay, now talking about the olden days and the brick material being used for construction of even the castles, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what do you think can be done to bring back that love for the use of bricks for construction?
Very good. Now, like I was saying, because of that marketing trend that went on, people bought into the idea. And with time, brick buildings faded out. Like I said, a lot of brick buildings were were plastered and painted. And so if you see it, you don't even know it's brick inside. Okay. So because its presence faded off, I think a lot of people also forgot about bricks because, visibility creates acceptance. All right. The more you see it and its beauty, it makes people, know the beauty and the benefit of using bricks. But if it faded out, then people really don't get to see the beauty and even the benefit. And that has been the trend. The First Republic, just after independence, the First Republic government had the intention to promote. So they built brick factories in all the regions. Because for your information, Ghana is endowed with huge deposit of quality bricks in all the 16 regions.
That's clay, you mean?
Clay, sorry. In all the 16 regions. This is proven by Building and Road Research and the Ghana Geological Survey Authority. So Ghana is endowed. Okay. But after the First Republic, the focus changed.
Okay.
And that is why we are where we are.
Now, I'm seeing quite a number of samples here. You would want to give me one. These are bricks, right?
Yes, this is brick.
These are bricks. Okay, let me start off by asking, how are they produced? And why the different, sizes and shades?
Okay, good. Brick production in our system, we use Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, goes in two phases, all right? We have the cottage size factories, all right? That is people producing small scale or micro production. And then we have the small scale. I'm not sure whether we have a medium scale factory in Ghana. Medium scale factory, it's highly mechanized, huge machines, the whole process line. So I'll start with the cottage one. It's very simple. Clay is clay, it's in our environment. So you harvest the clay. You hire people to go and dig the clay, all right? And then it is transported to the factory where it is, deposited. Now, from that stage, the clay must be cleaned, right? There are stones, there are roots of, it's in the forest. So they clean it and take all the waste out of it. And then from there, they prepare the clay by adding some volume amount of water. And then they knead it, all right? They knead it like you are doing bread, but they use their feet to stamp it, to mix it. It's a way of mixing. And then after mixing, they store it for a few days, right? They cover it with the black polythene to help the clay to stick together, okay, to make it more plastic, okay, right. Now, after the storage period, then the stored clay, which is then ready for production, is sent into the machine, okay, which we call it an extruder or a pulp mill, okay. So it is the machine that extrudes, that molds, let me use the word, molds the brick to this shape,
okay,
size. Okay. In the machine, there are different sizes,
okay,
shapes. So what you fix, the mold you fix is what you get. So once it comes out through like this, you've got a clean brick, which we call green brick. It now needs to be dried. And so you have labor at the factory which carries these into the sun to sun dry it, basically, right? And then once it is dried, then they are packed into the oven. Okay. Now, in firing, they use two methods. One, there are ovens. We call them kilns. Okay. The other one is an open clamp. It's a kiln, but it's an open one. That one, you just pack them and then they cover everything so that it can attract trap the heat for firing. Okay, so like I said, the last stage is going through the fire.
Okay.
And these are fired into certain required temperatures, okay, 750 and above degrees Celsius, to attain the hardness that is required for it to be used in construction. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if it doesn't attain the required firing temperature, then it is called underbent. It doesn't have that strength to be used, for construction.
Okay.
So we always look out for underbent and select the best for construction.
Okay, Tori. Now, selecting the best for construction, what kind of construction can you use bricks for? I know predominantly most people use it for houses. Any other that we can use bricks to construct?
Yeah, we have used it for many different things. We have done some few bridges. We have done ovens. We have done smoking ovens for the fish industry, quite a lot. We have done pizza ovens, floor. We have even done ceiling, slab. Special technique. It's a little difficult, so it's not something I will.
Suspended slabs.
Yes, floor slab.
With the bricks.
Yeah, there are methods for that too. Yeah. It was something you made up in olden days before the cement was there.
On your screen, you are seeing the suspended slab. So, this is a clear case of what we call floor here.
Yes.
They call it floor.
Yeah.
And this is made out of bricks.
Yeah.
So you don't put in a lot of iron rods. You don't reinforce it with a lot of iron rods.
No, that's true. But the red beams you see in between the bricks, they are iron.
They are iron, but the volume is not as what we see with the concrete.
No, 60%.
And Yesto is going to stand still. It's not going to fall apart.
No, definitely not. That's a very old building technology.
Wow. So you spoke about the use of bricks for suspended slab, and what other?
You can use it for floors. We have done. You can use it for outdoor pavement. You can use it for roadside pavement. You can even very hard-burn bricks. You can also use them for the roads, but that's a little expensive to fire them. Yes.
Wow. Okay, Sam, let me come back to you. Using bricks for all these purposes, you're talking about floors, you're talking about pavement, you're talking about suspended slab. It means it has to be quality. Now, how do you identify a quality block? If I'm to use, brick. If I'm to use bricks for construction.
There are two ways. Very simple one you can test when you are buying bricks. Okay, and that is the clapping. Clap two bricks together.
Okay.
Hear the sound. Okay. The second one is taking it to a laboratory for testing. All right. They put it in a machine to test the strength, and I will demonstrate right here for you to.
Okay.
Yeah. It clings like a bottle.
Okay.
Okay. If it
so it means it's quality.
It means it's well fired.
Okay.
It means it is well fired. So this is a very simple means of testing brick anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yes.
But then, why the different shades? I mean, the colors. Why?
Different colors come from the different color of clay in the ground. So the blue clay will obviously or mostly get a yellow color, while the red clay is also burning red. And that's because of the iron you have in the clay that gets red. But then you can, with different techniques, make them into black, which you make a reduction firing. That will say you take some oxygen out of the oven. And that, you have many very smart pottery women here. When you go to the road to Kumasi, you can see the black pots. It's not a paint or any glazing. It's the way they're firing them. So then you have a mix of color where there's little blue clay and red clay, and it gives little orange color. So, and you can put manganese in the bricks too, and then you will get a brown brick.
And the brown brick?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're watching us, this show is live. You can send us your WhatsApp or SMS messages on this number, 0500 180 697, 0500 180 697. And if you are living in a brick house, I would want to know what the experience has been. If you've ever built before, why did you make the decision with the said material you use for the construction of your house? And probably if you want to do a second construction of a house, tell me what product are you going to use? Sam, let me come back to you. It's been a great discussion so far.
Wonderful.
And I've loved every bit of what you said. You mentioned quality. Now, let's talk about, blocks. Blocks has this defect of rising damp, the experience of mold on it, developing on them. Is that the same story with bricks?
Good. No.
No.
If you build with quality bricks like these, okay, let me tell you something. When bricks goes through the fire, it reduces the porosity, that is the holes that are in the bricks. They are closed as much as possible to the barest minimum. And so water cannot permeate. It does not soak. If you put this in water, it will not soak water. It will not, for it to float or to disintegrate. No. Quality bricks wouldn't.
But I'm looking at this very one here. Yes, it looks so rough.
Very.
From what I see, I would say it's porous, or it's not porous.
It's not.
It's not.
Rustic. We call them rustic. The rough ones, they're rustic. And so its porosity or absorption rate is very minimum.
Okay.
All right? As compared to other
blocks
materials like
and the other materials.
concrete.
Okay.
And so rising damp is out of the equation if you build with quality bricks.
Right? And that of mold?
The mold and all those, no. You go to Amsterdam, go to Venice. Those huge buildings are in waterlogged area, but they don't have those rising damps, and they've been there for years. Okay, and so the issue is it must be well fired.
It must be well fired. Now, Tor, you've told me the story of brick being a family business from where you come from. And I would want to understand, what is the lifespan of a brick, a quality one?
Yeah, a quality brick can last for like 400 to 500 years.
400 to 500 years?
And even
yes.
more.
And that is like, if you make a CO2 calculation on bricks, you shall, for the firing, right, you shall give it a very long lifetime. A country like Denmark, where I am from, used bricks are very huge business. All houses that are taken down, the bricks are taken down, cleaned and used again. And they're actually more expensive than new bricks because people like the old rustic rough look. Wow. So it's very funny. So
it's like old one is.
Yeah, old one. Yeah. The problem in Europe, some places, is they are not allowed to fire with charcoal and all this stuff because it gives too much poisons. So they use gas, and gas gives a very homogeneous heat in the oven. They will say the color of the bricks are too homogeneous. That's not the same place. So they have to do a lot of things to make different colors on the bricks. So old bricks are very popular. And you do a CO2 calculation when you do a house in many countries now. And if you use used bricks for that, then actually you get deduction for that budget. Okay. You get me?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Sam, let me ask this. So comparing, here most of us build with blocks. Comparing bricks to blocks, which will last longer, stand the test of time?
Exactly. Not being biased, but this is scientifically proven, and you can check with the Building and Road Research. BRRI. They will confirm this, that bricks will last longer, okay, than using concrete. Now, we can see from the castles that we have in Ghana, Osu Castle, Cape Coast Castle, none of them have collapsed. They were all built 100%.
With bricks? With bricks. Even with the suspended slab?
Yes, with a few stones on the floors and stuff like that, but it's 100% bricks. And they've been there for over 400 years. Okay, which of the concrete block houses in Ghana have lasted over 100 years? Concrete, its life cycle is about 100 years. And even if before it should get to 100 years, you may see cracks and heavy maintenance that might have to be done before. Okay, and so bricks undoubtedly last much, much longer.
Okay, so again, I would want to know what has been your experience living in a brick house and making the decision to build a house again what material are you going to choose? Are you going to choose bricks? And what are your reasons? If you're going to choose blocks or any other building materials, let me know why you are making that decision. Now, Sam, you've spoken to us about, brick being superior, but I would want you to tell us the advantages of using bricks to build a house.
Okay. Now, there are so many advantages that you can, derive if you use this one. One of them is a cost-saving factor, right?
Cost-saving?
Yes. Now, you build with traditionally cement, sand, stone, and iron rods. Now, when you build with bricks, sure, you use cement as the binding agent, all right? But you build with less iron rods. As the building he showed you, it was built with either negligible or few iron rods for reinforcement, okay? And so that cost is reduced. Now, the second thing is that brick is a finished product, okay? You don't plaster it, you don't cover it with mortar when you finish, right? Once you construct with brick, it's a finished product, and so you don't plaster. So the cost of plastering is also taken out. And then you don't need to paint for the rest of the life cycle of the building, right? Conventionally, with concrete and paint, give yourself worst case scenario, 3 years or 4 years, you will have to paint because the paint needs to be taken off, all right? But with this, nothing of that sort. The third effect is that clay does not transmit any heat. Okay, so when the sun beats on it from the outside, it doesn't transmit the heat inside. And so inside of every brick house is cool. It's cooler than outside.
Are you trying to tell us we don't necessarily need an artificial ventilation? The split units, the HVACs?
The split unit, well, you may need it maybe for the fun of it, but you will not run it for a longer period as you do in the conventional room. Okay? Once you run your air conditioning for a while and the room is cool, you turn it off. That temperature is retained for a very long time. So it makes it energy efficient. And to a large extent, you might not even need an air condition. Maybe a fan. Cool. Right? Now, the fourth thing is that termites cannot, stay in this. They cannot, because of the high temperatures that these bricks have been fired to, it cannot harbor any termites or borers. Okay. Also, any volatile organic compounds like chemicals, it doesn't. This is natural 100% clay. And so the air quality inside a brick house is much better than air quality in other material built homes. Okay. Artificially, it's beautiful. These colors will never change once you build it. Okay. If it gets dirty, just wash it with water, and that's it. Okay. So these are key pillars of advantages of using bricks in building. You can build with bricks in any form, in any style. It only needs the skilled know-how to do it.
Now, Tor, let me ask this question. He's spoken about some advantages. My question is this. Its fire resistance properties, does it burn easily?
No. It's
as compared to blocks and other materials like glass.
So that's why you build a pizza oven and high heat ovens in this material. But then you cannot use cement and the mortar. Then you can use some termite soil. You can use some little lime porcelain and other things. But you don't use cement for the mortar.
What about its acoustic properties? The travel of sound?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The best insulator ever.
And actually, what happens when you cool a brick down? Sorry, I just say. Yeah. When you have a house that is cool, actually what happens with a brick is take the humidity, the water, it goes, the brick suck little water. And when the sun heat on the wall and the vapor comes out, it creates coolness on the backside. That was why in the old Ghana you have clay pots for water. I don't know if you old parents, you put the finger down, it's 5 degrees colder and you contain it in a plastic pot.
I see. Yeah. I think you can explain.
It's like,
I get it. I think Tor is talking about that.
Yes, the pots, the drinking pots that we used to have.
Oh, okay.
Our grandmothers. You see, anytime you fetch water from the pot, it's cooler than the normal pot. That is what he's explaining.
Yeah.
Because it's also made from clay.
Okay.
The pots were made from.
Now you mentioned that in Denmark, people really spend more buying old bricks. Some economists say brick houses have more value than other building materials. Is that true? The value of it?
You can say so, because when you have built a brick house, the biggest value is you don't have to do anything for the rest of your life. If you build well, you have bought some good bricks, you have built your house, and there's nothing more to do.
Yeah, are you saying there's zero maintenance on the property?
Of course, on the roof and many other things.
negligible.
And if you don't lock a roof that is leaking, then you can destroy some things, right? And I will still say that you still need to protect little from water from the down. Even, of course, you can use well-fired bricks, but salt can come up from the ground, and it's good no matter what. You put your asphalt fill on the ground after you've done the foundation before you put bricks, blocks, whatever you are building.
That's the damp proof.
The damp proof at the down. Yeah.
Okay. Now, talking about, it's almost as if you are taking us through the construction procedure with the use of bricks. Let me ask this question. Within areas prone to hurricanes, earthquakes, would you advise one to use bricks for construction?
Yes, but when it comes to earthquake, then you still have to do your iron rod and your beams, because earthquake is a totally other matter. And there, if you have an old story building in bricks, when there's no iron rod, it can fall easier than if you not have iron rod in concrete pillars. So that is advisable to still have your columns with iron rod, no matter if you put bricks or blocks in between. Yeah, but that's for story buildings.
That's for story buildings.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
in an earthquake-prone areas.
Okay. Now, on our screen is a brick construction going on. Clearly, with what we see with blocks, you realize that at certain times we chisel the walls, the blocks, just to make provisions for these pipes and chisel the wall. With bricks, as tiny as they are, do you chisel the walls to bury the pipes, these plumbing pipes and electrical pipes?
No. At certain areas, yes, some slight chipping need to go, but the planning must go together. Okay, the bricklayer, the electrician, and then the plumber must work together so that they know where the electrical pipes or connection service pipes are going to run. And so as the bricklayer lays the bricks upwards, he will be inserting the pipelines. As you can see there, some materials are white, white for the service lines, for electrical. You see the other ones, which is also for the pipes or the plumbing, and as well as the waste, yes, as you can see in there. So that it limits the volume of chipping that, if maybe, needs to be done. And so by the time the thing rises up to the lintel level, all the service pipes are within. Okay, so he only needs to chip where the sockets or the pipes needs to be fixed.
Now, clay bricks being used in washroom areas, wet areas like the kitchen, is it appropriate? Is it right?
It is appropriate. You can use it, leave your kitchen, or you can also tile it. You can also put tile, like your kitchen or the washroom, bathroom, right? You can plaster and then you can plaster and fix tiles on as you wish. Okay, it depends on what you are doing.
It depends on what we are doing. Yes. Tor, you want to add on to what Sam has said with the use of bricks in the wet areas? You are a master craftsman.
Yeah, I will not let bricks stand.
Any special precaution you take during those areas?
I will not let bricks stand visible in a shower, in a bathroom too much if there comes water up in it. Otherwise, you have to treat it with some chemicals to avoid water. Yeah.
Okay. Now, luxury, exclusivity, and your dream home await at Star Properties. Located within Lakeside City, Star Properties is developed by Advanced Construction and Developments Limited and financed by Silver Star Tower. This is where Ghanaian families find their perfect haven. With 100 custom-built homes, each tailored to your desires, Star Properties offers high-speed MTN fiber internet, 24/7 security, 3 recreational parks, and a gated enclave within Lakeside City Community 8. Join our thriving community today and live the life you desire. Contact Viglo on 050-127-9284, 050-127-84. Thank you so much. We'll be taking a break. We return after this break. You are welcome back. Up next is the interactive segment with Audrey Afri.
Thank you, Manos. We are being told that the brick buildings last from 400 to 500 years instead of the block buildings. So you can join our interactivity by sending us messages on the WhatsApp number 0500-180-697. We are asking why most people prefer using blocks instead of bricks in their construction. So our first message coming in on WhatsApp is from John Odwe from Nkuranka. I think the size of brick is too small, so laying it will be time consuming. That is why it is not patronized this day. Can bricks be used to build a waterlogged area? What is the comparative cost between brick and concrete building? That's coming from Ajiman from Dome Plateau. Good afternoon. Please, I wish to invest in integrated medical and alternative medical care, Medicare. Please, preferably, which do I use? Please, preferably, which to use? Bricks for the construction. How may I locate your outfits for further and better inquiries? That's coming in from Steve. Oyibo Boatin from Achiman Yuebi in Kumasi. Should we start using bricks for building instead of blocks? Good day, Pyramid Show. How many bricks will I basically need for a 2-bedroom house? An average cost, I'm really interested. That's from Nasif from New Edubiase. Can I get supply of bricks at a site around Denu and Amasaman to use? How many bricks do I need to build a 2-bedroom house with room 14 by 14 feet room size, sitting room and kitchen measuring of 18 by 16 feet and 12 by 12 feet respectively? That's coming from Kayla at Anya. Can the size of brick be made bigger as a cement block? Can we also use it to build water tank to store water? You can be a part of the interactivity by joining in on our WhatsApp number 0500-180-697. Can we also use it to build water tank to store water? If one clad with brick, does it affect the temperature? That's coming from Kwesi from Brekusu. Can one use bricks for the foundation? That is to say, the earthworks before getting to the ground floor. That's from Osei Kwabenam, asking from Efiduase Asante. Please, can you use bricks for superstructure after using sand and cement for the foundation? That's from Enoch. So you can join our interactivity on Twitter. The Twitter page is as the pyramid_show, and then also on Facebook, 360medianet.gh. That will be all for the interactive segment.
Thank you very much, Audrey Dushi Kafui. Sam and Tor, interesting questions coming in. I would want us to start. This one coming from one person, and he says that using bricks to clad, after you've built with blocks, and you use bricks to clad it, does it change the temperature condition inside the room? Mm-hmm.
Because this is the brick tile size. Okay. And so it cannot, though it doesn't transmit heat. Its size cannot, insulate the building from heating up. So there will be some level of, there will be more heating.
Okay.
It doesn't actually insulate you from.
Not all. The other question was, why don't we mold bricks as big as the size of blocks?
That's possible with some hollow blocks. Personally, I don't think it looks nice. But that's another question. But you can actually make big brick blocks. In Austria, Turkey is used a lot, but they actually plaster them mostly.
Okay.
If I can add a little.
Please add on, Sam.
Also, demand. The market demand dictates what we put as producers put on the market, right? Brick blocks are available. We call them hollow blocks.
So they can be that big?
It exists. I sent you a picture of a hollow brick. It exists, right? But its use is not much. People use it mostly for fence walls, and it's also used for buildings, which looks nice. Very popular in the Bono area, Sunyani area, Ashanti region. Brick blocks are used very often.
Now, Tori, you are a master craftsman. You have the skills when it comes to using bricks to build. The other question, how many bricks can be used, I mean the number, for the construction of bricks? A two-bedroom house.
A two-bedroom house is very individual how big it is, but let's say it's like 45, 55 square meter. I think it's like in between 14 to 16,000 bricks.
Okay. Rough approximate. But ideally, what I advise clients, okay, or would build or would be homeowners is that share your floor plan with us, all right? Send your floor plan with us with its measurement of what you want to have. In fact, in the association, we also have quantity surveyors, and yes, okay, or we call them QS amongst us, okay, who can actually give you an accurate calculation or estimate, yes, of what you will need, how many bricks you will need for that expected building. And so I always advise, when I give it to you off head, it might not be very accurate. It is just an assumption. But get our contact, send us your floor plan with the design and the measurement. Okay. Our quantity surveyor will just do the work.
Now, Osekwamna wanted to know if bricks can be used for the building of foundation, construction of foundation. I mean, the foundation itself.
Yes. It can, but I don't see the idea to do it.
Exactly.
I mean, blocks are much faster with down under the ground. So I don't see the idea to use bricks in the foundation.
So for all buildings we see, the foundation should be blocks.
Concrete. Yes. Yeah. Because if you build your foundation with bricks, because of the volume of bricks you will use down there, all right, the cost might be. And so we advise that do your normal foundation with concrete, and then you build from the floor level up to the lintel. That's more economical.
One question was that bricks are smaller in size, and for that matter, takes a longer period constructing. I mean, what do you have to say?
That's a wrong assumption.
It's a wrong assumption.
That's really have something about the working culture and how skilled the bricklayer you have. Because we have bricklayers where I come from that can put 700, 800, 900 bricks in a day. And that's just a very well planned and good scaffolding and all that things included. But here, the bricklayers I'm going with can do like 400. So I think a block layer will do 100 blocks in a day or something like that. Or do you know the numbers?
Okay, so let me put it this way. The use of blocks and bricks, which of them can you achieve speed? I mean, which of them would give a rapid completion to the building? I mean, completion.
I would say to build up the wall with bricks takes a little longer time because you need more finishing on your joints because you will see the work after you have done it. When you do block work, you will not see it, but then you will plaster it after. But so to have a fair competition, you shall actually add the plastering of the blocks after you have built it to have a fair competition, because then I think we will win.
I get it. So now let me phrase my question better. So this is what I mean. With the construction of a two-bedroom house and that of a block house and a brick house, which am I going to complete, faster? I mean, early.
That is exactly what he said. Okay. Normally, we do literal comparison here. Okay. We look at laying the block from floor up and then laying the bricks from floor up, and that's it. But like I said, brick is a finished product. Okay. And so when you lay it, it's finished. But if you should, like Thor said, if you should add the time that you use to plaster after, completing the wall with blocks to it, then you see that laying brick walls is much faster, okay? Because it's a finished product. You lay it, you do the pointing completed, and it is done.
Okay. Now, I believe there's so much skill to laying of that's bricks.
Yes.
Because with, the concrete blocks, even if they are not leveled, you can correct it with the plastering. But with that of bricks, I mean, there's no provision for plastering. So it stays, it stays as it is. So when it comes to laying of bricks, I believe you have to be very skilled. Do we have the skilled workmen for brick laying? Do we have them here?
So there are, but I try to do a lot with bricklayers I work with to use laser, to use different measurements, and to use some special tools with sticks and so on. Long story, I will not come in on here. But so because I really don't like if a brickwork is not in line or it's out of level, it looks terrible. And it's so sad if people use a lot of money on bricks and then the finishing is so bad. It's a waste of money in my eyes. Yeah.
So are you trying to tell us we do not have enough artisans?
Yes, we don't have enough.
Could that be the reason why we are not seeing most homeowners using bricks for the construction? Because they wouldn't find the people to build them, even the professionals to understand them.
It's possible. It's possible that, but it's all lack of information. Okay, and that is why we are here. As an association, we also identified a lot of the skilled labor in the market. Some of them coming through some training schools that we have, and then also Building and Road Research has done. We have a database, and so we link clients to them. Okay, so we also serve as a one-stop shop for information for bricks, where bricks are, or where the skilled labor are. But we still need more, okay? Because if like I said, brickwork is an art, and if it is not done well, the finishing is bad, and you will never like bricks. Okay, your levels, the horizontal lines of the courses must be straight. At every point, the bricklayer has to stop and check. He needs to make sure that the perpendicular lines, the vertical lines, are perfect by using the plumb line to check everything, so that everything at the end looks good. Okay, unlike you have in other cases where you finish and you see the door frame or the window frame tilted in a way. No, that must not happen in bricklaying.
All right, the phone line is activated. You can call the number on your screen to be part of the discussion ongoing here. Sam, let me ask this. I'm still thinking this is clay.
Yes.
And trees grow in clay. Now we are using this, although you said it's been fired and it's been properly made or molded.
Good.
Yet we are going to use these bricks for pavement blocks. Paving the floor. Some are even using it as tiles. The tendency of these trees, weeds growing, what's the possibility of that?
I don't get your question.
I mean to say, is it possible for weeds and trees to grow from bricks?
No. When
you use it for paving.
Like fungus?
Yes. Using it on the floor. Because once you're using it on the floor, it's in direct contact with the earth.
Okay. We don't have that. It's negligible in terms of, when you do the pavement.
Yes, what we are seeing on our screen.
Oh, wonderful, yes. You may find some, coming in between, okay? But definitely not much weed. It will not become, the pavement or walkway, your walkway will not become, that weedy. Because beneath it, you prepare the base with quarry sand.
And the other question I'm asking is, looking at what is on the screen right now, and you have these heavy-duty tracks, moving on them, are they not going to break?
Not at all. This is the solid brick. These are the ones. You can either use this or use this one for your pavement, and it will not.
Also depending what is under.
Oh, okay.
You do it well.
So let me talk to
I'll give you an if you visit.
Please hold on. Let me get to McAfee on the phone. Hello, McAfee.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please,
Go on,
want to find
McCaffrey.
out, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I want to find out if you advisable to start with a brickwork. Maybe you're having a story building, then you complete with a block work.
Please repeat your question again.
Is it advisable to start, assuming you are building a story building, you start the ground floor with a brickwork and you complete it with a block work. Is it
Okay.
advisable to start?
Okay, thank you, McCaffrey. He wants to know, you've started with blocks, maybe on the ground floor. Now moving to the first floor, you want to change it and use bricks. Is it done?
I thought his question was the opposite. You start with brick and then you want to continue with blocks.
I mean, either ways, we can answer both.
But both ways, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I will only say if you build a very big brick house, you shall make sure that you have almost all the bricks, because you can risk a little color difference from load to load. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Okay.
You-
So,
you understand his question? Okay, I mean, you can see that bricks come with different colors.
yes.
It comes from, where you buy them. And so he's advising that it is good to get all the bricks together, okay, before you start building, so that the color variations does not show. If the bricklayer is building, he would then pick red, pick yellow, pick black, and it gives you a very beautiful stuff. That's
But I think we will still come back to the question.
Right.
Okay, let me go on to the phone. Hello, James.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, James, from Upper East.
Yeah. Please, my name is, I'm calling from Upper East, Bolga. If I want to learn the work, how will I do it?
Hello, James.
Yes, sir.
Please talk. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I said if I want to learn the work, the brick work, I want to learn how to mold it and then how to build it. How will I do it?
Got this question.
okay.
You want to learn?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I will not advertise here, but we have a school where we train bricklayers, but we are fully occupied.
you are fully occupied.
Yeah, we cannot take in more students.
You can't take in more students.
Let me also add, you can contact Building and Road Research Institute in Kumasi. They have a school for training artisans, and they run courses from time to time. So they will be able to tell you when the next class for brick laying is going to take place.
Okay, so to the first question asked by McCaffrey, understanding it better, what he meant was, if he started construction with these concrete blocks, probably on the ground floor. Now moving on to the first floor, he wants to use bricks. Is it doable? Is it done?
Yes.
It is done.
Yes.
Is it the same with bricks being used for the ground floor, then you changing to that of the concrete blocks?
Yes. It's same. It could be done without any difficulty.
But I'm thinking maybe the load, the weight of these concrete blocks coming on the bricks might cause problem.
Depending on if you bought some good blocks with a good comprehensive strength, then of course if you have some very cheap blocks with very little cement, and then it can be a problem. So and if it's hollow blocks, so I think no matter what, I will talk to a professional before I do it.
Yeah.
Good. Bricks have a much higher compressive strength. They have superior strength than blocks. All right? Yeah. It's also proven. You check from Building and Road Research. All right? They have a much higher compressive strength. Comparatively, its strength, bricks compressive strength ranges from about 5 to 20 millimeters square per newtons per millimeter square. Okay, but if you pick concrete, its maximum is about 2 newtons per millimeter square.
Okay, so let me have your final words as we wrap up the show. I'll start with you, Sam.
Good. We're grateful for the opportunity, but what we want to tell our cherished listeners is that bricks are available. Contact the brick and tile manufacturers of Ghana. At every point, we know where bricks are available. Good bricks, quality bricks are in the country. Most of the major producers are our members. And you can use bricks for anything, from ovens to buildings to your biodigesters, digesters, and all that. Okay, there is a perception that building with bricks is expensive. It's rather the opposite. I think this perception is coming from Europe and North America. Over there, brick buildings are more expensive. So I'm sure that perception was translated here, but it's much cheaper.
Okay, your final words.
Yeah, final words. I think if you want a troublesome-free house for many years, then do a brick house and you don't have to think about more.
So bricks are cheaper, they last longer, and they have the best, properties. When you talk about fire resistance, you talk about acoustic, talk about durability and a longer lifespan. This show has been brought to you by kind courtesy of Zypress Concrete. And a very big thank you to our guest in the studio, Mr. Sam Ekuba. He is the Executive Secretary for Bricks and Tile Manufacturers Association of Ghana. And we have with us Mr. Tor Brenoff. He is the Project Manager for Green Sun Villas. A very big thank you to our viewers as well. We'll be coming your way same time next week. Stay blessed.